Okay, so break time. Had to put my food together, and it's all cooked, and now I'm throwing it in the freezer because I'm seeming to like my food cold for some reason. So anyway, I had a theory that ayahuasca really gets in with the food and does something to create change and detox. And because when I did eat the food, walnuts and mulberries and salmon, it had a wonderful, wonderful time in my system. It felt like the right hemisphere was being massaged, and so it was like just doing work. And then there was some pains along the left side, which is my masculine side, the logical side, and it was related to patterns that I didn't need anymore. So it was like it felt like it was like just defragging the computer, is what like Justin likes to say. So it's like that's literally what it felt like was going on. I was just breathing and breathing, and then I got to ask ayahuasca to introduce LSD. And it was amazing. It was the most beautiful synergy that I could ever imagine. So, if you want to go out there on a limb, like, I believe in a past life I was a Martian. If you watch Spirit Science, like, I don't know, I'm open to completely believe I'm psychotic, but this is my reality. Past lives, what we came from, all that stuff, like, definitely different planet feeling, and LSD, I believe, is alien technology. It definitely gives you a touch to the extraterrestrial. I mean, if you guys look into John Lilly, who created the float tank, like he actually made contact with extraterrestrials. That is not my goal. But I feel that I am alien, and whether that's just me completely identifying with such or whether I choose to be or not, it's the same thing. It feels like that. And LSD, the therapy that I've been able to do with that is just like, it feels like home. It feels like the most wonderful thing. And like recently when I hit rock bottom, I did a video about this a little while, and it's torn apart. It's cool to see that I have it out there, and I'm like, damn, I was in a low place. And I was going to, I just barely started drinking, and everything ended the way it was. I was really asking myself, do I need to be here or not? Like, I was like, I can get myself into a position where I could make it easy to pull that trigger. But I made a mistake at the same time. Like, I ended up taking 15 hits of LSD, and I was going to get alcohol I knew that would be the ticket to get to a dark place, and I could accept that. I've never been drunk in my life. I've been a little bit tipsy, but I understand where people can get blackout drunk, and like, I still have old habits that I'm still getting rid of. Like, I don't get violent by any means, but who knows, I could get super aggressive. I get violent about myself. I did get violent on myself, not other people, but a few times, in some processing, cracked myself in the head with a bottle when I was a kid and older too. So it's just like, just hating part of myself in the past. It's very interesting. And damn, you're getting the whole confessional. Hopefully this will be like less than 45 minutes for you guys. Just incredible experience. And then LSD she said yes, ayahuasca said yeah. And it was interesting. So I believe that me, personally, I'm vibrating on an amazing frequency, so I can be the host of two incredible intelligences. And I've heard a lot of like, don't do the ayahuasca and LSD combo, you got to watch out for that. Like, a lot of experienced pros have said that. I believe if your body's in tune, you can handle anything, and I don't believe it's taking a damn year off my age. It looks like the exact opposite. So it's like everything feels good, and I'm off all substances except for these medicines. It's like incredible. So all the therapy that I get to do, I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed, and I'm manifesting it myself. And so the introduction to LSD was like, after ayahuasca, it felt like she's done for the night. She basically was like, LSD, go ahead. And what I could describe is it felt like LSD went to the same spots and a little bit different that Aya did, and upgraded it. I healed it. It created a foundation, and then LSD was like, bing, up fucking grade. It's literally what it felt like. I mean, it was like throughout my entire brain, and like, oh, and then the left side where the pain had come from Mother Aya, it was like all of a sudden there was this like warmth there. It was like, not warmth, but like, I don't know, just good frequency. It felt like, and I had playing the entire time, I had this Gregorian chant. Oh. Oh, this Gregorian chant of all 9 solfeggio frequencies done by the iDozer. Oh my God. It's still in me, right? So I'm manifesting like crazy. So I come out of that experience. It was wild at night. My mind wouldn't shut off. My body was exhausted. My mind wouldn't shut off. I did go to the bathroom like 3 times, poop, and it cleaned some stuff out that was like too early to digest, because sure enough, I'm like having the most solid shits of the world today. So that was definitely some of the food that I ate, but it's like, did something, like clean some really dark shit out. It felt like every time I had to go to the bathroom. It was interesting. I actually chose to lay on a Chinese rollout mat instead of any kind of like comfortable. I wanted the floor. It was interesting. Like I had a pillow and the floor, and that's all I wanted. I had the Gregorian chant going softly. I have these noise canceling earplugs, so they tune into a little bit of noise, not the high pitched frequencies, because I have a fan that kind of gets whiny in the entire situation. So that was a wonderful thing to be a part of and just witness. Oh man. So I woke up. It was weird. I got 3.5 hours of sleep. I got an hour and a half of deep sleep and an hour of REM sleep. So like in a like hour of light. So that's pretty high quality. I woke up at 30%, but at the same time, like with synapses and brain shit that was going on, it was like bing. So I woke up. I was able to take another tablespoon, and I took some alcohol, and I went and floated for 3 hours. So I got right up, sat up there, went in. It's a fucking wonderful place. iFloat Sensations. The alcohol, what it did is it pretty much just, it was Jaeger, and it was a shot, and it just pretty much completely engulfed my entire lymph system. So I wanted to go in a little bit acidic to the float tank, because I didn't do any lotion or oil, so I wanted to absorb as much of that salt as possible, because I put binaural beats in there, and again I put my Altec lensing speaker and put it in the Gregorian chant again. So I had 3 hours of that again, and it was like, oh my God, it was like after an hour and a half, I had hit such a deep space in an hour and a half, and it was pretty much just accepting everything that had come last night, like ingraining it. It's like, this is how to put it forward. This is how you integrate. And the only place that I really knew I could do that was the float tank, because I'm dried out in a sense. I went in a bit acidic. I didn't drink any water during the ayahuasca experience. I think it's important to be hydrated prior and after, not during. I think dehydration is part of the reason that the experience happens. So man, going a little bit acidic, take the ayahuasca alkaline. And then I was able to just unite the most unique frequencies. And at first, when LSD came approaching, my awareness was brought to it because I'm very familiar, and there was static between Aya and LSD a little bit. It's like they were like, and I was like, oh, it was just my breath. I had held the static. I created that static because I felt like I'm in a complete frequency where I can introduce to unique intelligences. And I did, and it was amazing. And I started breathing again, and sure enough, like, I finished up her stuff, and then LSD went bing after she was like, go ahead. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I never knew. Never knew it could be this amazing. So I went and floated and accepted everything. Everything. Just, I went into the blue room, which is basically Haleakala. I'm like literally looking at the other islands in Hawaii. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is amazing. So, went to Haleakala. I did the 30-minute Monroe Institute previous meditation where it takes you, it has this box, you put your shit in the box that you don't want to deal with, and then you close that shit, and then you get blasted off into your space. And so I literally was walking around Haleakala for, felt like at least 3 hours, 4 hours at least, because I have ayahuasca in my system, and it is phenomenal. Ayahuasca and Jaeger, that's it. And so I did do a hydrogen water as well, so I bring my alkalinity up in a little bit. So I also need to look into hydrogen water in the float tank and see if that would be too much for the heart. Because the alkalinity, if you go in super alkaline, would that be too much hydrogen to the heart, right? So it's like, got to talk to some people. Good thing I know some smart ass people. All right, so if any of you guys have any input, let me know. That'd be cool. So, had a float, accepted the float. The owner ended up showing up just to talk to me, and we are going to work it to where I have an all-day float, like an 8-hour 9 to 5. That's what I'm going to work into right before the human garage, because yeah, I think I can just do it. I think it's awesome. I will take breaks and move, but while I was in the float tank after I did the Monroe Institute, I basically sat like this, and I would go through different alignment positions to try to get as leveled out as possible. So I've been a bodybuilder, so I know how to pose. So I was like tightening my glutes, vacuuming. I was pretty much trying to align myself as much as possible up and down so I could feel all the energy chakras go through, and vacuuming, you know, stretching, lengthening. It felt like I was getting taller. Breathing, making sure to always breathe. And it was nice because my mind was not noisy at all. So I went through the Monroe Institute, and then the chakra alignment, and then 10 minutes of Reiki healing, and then the Gregorian chants. So that's my surface. The Gregorian chants actually basically put me in this spot of like, hey, you know, an hour left, you're done meditating, or you're not done meditating, you're done aligning, it's good for today, just lay there and just soak it all up. And that's what happened, and I just like soaked it all up. I was so hydrated, I felt jacked out of my mind, I'm leaner than I've ever been, I'm tighter than I've ever been, I feel better than I've ever lived, I look bigger than I've ever been. My posture feels like, I feel like I grew an inch, 2 inches, like in my GTR, I'm just like above in the world. Like it feels like, and it's crazy because I think the rib problem I have is because I've been crunched down the whole time. Like if I'm really elevated, tightening up and using my, like in a sense, ribs to corset and push me up like Arnold and those guys back in the day, like that rib is probably supposed to be just down all the time, and that makes total sense why it always pops out. So I don't know, that's going to take some practicing, and the human garage will help me find a lot of alignment there too. So it's cool that I get to go in with all this super quick knowledge, and it was interesting. So after the float, I went and got a massage from Katya, who I mentioned earlier, who is phenomenal, and you should go see her. She's not even expensive, and she's just blow your mind. She's so wonderful. So it was crazy, man. She started with my feet in water and tea from pomegranate, and I had my water there. I had another shot of Jaeger to just open up the lymph system, and boy, did that work. Thank you, Gary Linehan, man. That was one of an incredible, yes, that's, and I was shut off to alcohol 2 months ago. Like, it was a fuck no. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, so, had that massage. And I was like, I gotta go pick up some mulberries and some cranberries for tonight's dinner. And I was like walking into Sprouts, and I see Tara. Just walking in, I grab mulberries, I walk over, she's over there picking up vegetables in the vegetable aisle. I see her beautiful legs and her beautiful face and her beautifulness. And I was like, I'm not ready to see her yet. I hope she doesn't see me. If she does, I don't care. I felt amazing. No frequency was penetrating the frequency that I was vibrating on. Like I was just sitting in line, just perfect posture, just staring and breathing and observing just myself, my posture, kind of just really paying attention to the new posture that I've created, because like I want to keep it forever because it feels incredible. So that's my goal. That's my integration from here on out, is like this posture creates alignment and like stuff's starting to pop back in. Like every now and then I'll get this tight spot, which I felt in the float tank with my shoulder. It's like I wanted to think brain, move it, but instead I had to think, okay, come down to here, go from the source, and then pop, crazy. So, and it was super chill and super easy. And so like, it's interesting because I think hydration has a huge factor in that. I'm fasted, no stomach distress, no stress really other than day to day. And it's like, damn, and I'm getting shit done on a business level, by the way. This isn't just meditation and holy shit, it's fucking nuts. I'm meditating like crazy. I'm not watching TV really. I watch one episode of Westworld a week with Matt because that's our family time. And that's it, man. I just don't have time for that because I need to think to myself. And this is a long video, but this one's a big one. This one's fucking huge because this is the start of something fucking huge. Like, it started, but this is just a catalyst that I have never seen coming. And I was open to new things thanks to Chris Witecki from Serious Joy, who I can't wait to listen to while I eat my dinner. And namaste. Everyone take it easy. I actually talked to Chris Witecki on the 12th. It's a new moon. Holy shit. This guy has literally been telling me how my life is going. Exactly. Signing off. Thank you. I love you. Share it. Chat about it. Tell me about your experiences. If I have the time to read it, I'll dive in. I promise. Making as much time for everyone as possible, but I still got a lot of my own work to do. But back to Tara. I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to see her, man. I wanted to, like, at the same time, like, part of me, 1% of me was like, I wish I could just run up and just fucking kiss her and hug her and just love her to death again and just be like, I'm changed, but I'm not yet. I'm just changing. I'm ready to ingrain. So this whole month, all the way till the human garage, I have 13 weeks of work to do. That's my boot camp. That's what I went to the Marine Corps boot camp. So again, thank you. Another tangent. I love you. Thank you for watching this long ass video. I'm gonna actually break it into 3 segments. So,